Good morning and welcome to part 2 of the Jack Russell embroidery. Now if you look there you can see said Jack Russell, that's Billy, and he's actually rolling in chicken poo. We have about 30 chickens and they live in the garden. They have a run just actually over there, but we let them out every now and again, and our grass is always beautifully green. Say no more. Right, so I'm just going to carry on. Glasses, and I've got my glasses today. I'm just going to carry on from where I was the other day. As you know, I didn't really do very much, but I just wanted to get it started, and I've actually found the other piece of thread that I split into 3 strands, which is always a good thing. If I can pick the needle up, needle threader. Can't pick that up either. It's these daft nails. Do you get your nails done? I have builder gel, and we've got French tips on at the minute, and for all they're not very thick, it's really difficult to pick anything up with them. And I apologise for me still damp hair. I've not long been out of the shower. I'm a little bit behind schedule this morning, but not to worry. Life comes and takes us off in different directions, and things don't always go to plan, and in my life that's generally the case. Right, so what I'm going to do is, because I've actually got this to sew into on the back, and I'm going to start from that end, so I need to go to the bottom and go that way. So I'm going to where I finished. I've got a runny nose and I haven't got a tissue. I've got a tissue. I can't believe I've got tissues all over the house. Tissues and hand cream, they're my 2 things. Right, so that's sorted. So I'll just continue. What have I been doing today? Well, my other half, Paul, was in construction when he was younger. He still does the odd little bit, patios and things like that. He's doing more gardens now because he's getting old. But his nephew, well, his niece's husband, is a bricklayer, and he's always having ideas, right? His latest idea is an excavating machine, which is currently parked under my carport. No, it's not actually. It's not, I tell a lie. It was parked under my carport. It is now way up to the mechanic because there's a couple little bits need doing with it because it wasn't new when he bought it. But that's fine. But he has, I don't know whether you've seen them before, but when they're digging holes to put fencing up, to put the posts in, the quickest way to do it is to get these sort of, they're like huge pliers, right? Stand about this high, and they've got this bit on the bottom that opens, you put it in, you close it, and it pulls soil out the bottom, which is the easiest way of making a hole, the shape and size that you want to put your fence post in. So he has one of those, and he hasn't been able to find it. Now, I know that somebody borrowed it. We had them for ages, but I know that I remember when somebody borrowed them, and Paul was adamant they weren't here, and I was fairly certain we hadn't got them back. Anyway, I was sitting having a cup of tea in the living room, as you do, and Paul appeared at the window with this particular tool. I can't remember what they're called. I do know what they're called, but I can't remember. We had them after all. They were in Paul's, well, we've got an old brown bin, and he keeps all these brooms and brushes and things like that in that bin, but they were sharp side down. Normally he would put like a brush, he would put broom end up, but the stick was sticking up and the sharp end was going down, so he didn't realise. He just thought it was 2 broom handles. So goodness knows how long they've been there. probably quite a while. But at least they found them, that's the main thing, because poor Mark was getting a bit, thinking he was going crazy mad. So anyway, that was that. What else have I done today? Not a great deal, actually. So I'll just crack on with this. If you've got any questions about cross stitching, drop them in the comments and I will answer them if I can. I should be able to. I've done cross stitching for more years than I care to remember I've been alive. I was just thinking about it yesterday, you know, and I actually learned to knit when I was 7, right? 7. And we had to knit a square. The teacher showed us how to cast on and how to turn around. Obviously, it was different for me because I'm left-handed, so she had to show me back to front. But I think my mum might have already showed us at this point. But anyway, my square was square. Now, there was a girl in my class, and I think she might have been called Amanda, but don't quote me on that. And I don't know how she managed it, but her square was a triangle. So I've always been able to knit. I've always been able to do things like this. I love to follow a pattern. I'm not very good at, what should I say, being creative in that, like, from scratch thing. So I mean, I can't paint to save me life, but if I was going to paint a picture, I would need to be able to look at what I wanted to paint. I wouldn't just be able to think, oh, I'll paint a tree and be able to paint a tree. I can't do that. I need to know what I'm making. Like, if I have in the past been dressmaking, I couldn't just start with a fabric and end up with a dress. I would have to have the pattern for it. I can hear noises. Oh, we've got pigeons. We have a sycamore tree in the garden and it is rather large, and we have pigeons nesting in it, and they're actually just building the nest. Yesterday they've been on and today they've been on building the nest. And Paul said this morning, how long does it take to build a pigeon nest? And you know what? I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I haven't got a clue how long it takes to build a nest, a pigeon's nest. I mean, that, you know, I can understand a little blue tit or a little sparrow having a tiny, tiny little nest, so it wouldn't take very long to build. But pigeons are quite big. So I'm thinking the nest would probably be sort of 6 inches in diameter, kind of. So, but we got 2 pigeons nesting in our sycamore tree, which is quite nice. We have quite a lot of birds nest in the trees. We've had goldfinches nesting this year, and it's the first time they've ever nested here. We get them in the garden, but they don't usually nest here. We we have a bird box on a silver birch, and Paul had been listening and he could hear tweeting. So Kate had a spare Ring doorbell, so they decided that they would set up this Ring doorbell, so every time somebody came out of the nest it would go ding dong or whatever, and we could be able to watch them getting fed and then fledging. And I think there were possibly 3 or 4 chicks in there. And we sat one, I think it was a Saturday afternoon, and we actually watched, I think they were sparrows. We watched the sparrows fledging, and it was so lovely, because you know, you see it on Spring Watch, don't you? And you think, oh goodness, you know, look at them and blah de blah. But we saw these sparrows fledging, and they're so funny because they were getting their heads out, and they'd get a wing out, and then they'd get up, but they'd go back in, and then they'd come out again, and they'd get their head out, and because the mummy's downstairs, down on the grass shouting for them, isn't she? So it was fun. It was fun. The simple things of life. Simple things, please, simple people. That's what they say, don't they? So I'm plodding on with this. Goodness knows how much I'll get done today. Probably a lot more than what I got done the other day, because of the fact that I can actually see today because I have my spectacles on. Now, I wear these for, I'm supposed to wear them for close-up and for driving. So I've got a pair in the car that I wear, that are always in the car, because if I only get one pair, you can guarantee I'll lose them. I should practice what I preach, really, because I do actually make glasses chains as well. I've made some beautiful ones, and I never use them. I've sold a few on eBay years ago, but they were always like just generic small beaded ones. I shall show you some sometime. They're really pretty, the ones I've got at the minute. So I've got a pair of glasses in the car, which are great for when I'm driving, and I've got a pair of glasses in the house, or should I say in the shed, which is where I am at the minute. Now I'd like to tell you about my shed, because last year, the summer house, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 octagonal summer house. Okay, this bungalow used to be my mother and father's, and they built this octagonal summer house, and it's really nice, but the furniture they put in was absolutely massive, right? Huge furniture in this summer house, but not to worry, it was my mum's choice and whatever. So I decided, after seeing lots of people having garden offices, that I would quite like to work in the garden in the summer house, but it was going to be fairly difficult with this huge furniture in here. Anyway, Paul was doing a job for a couple last year, and they had an old shed, so they were getting a new one, and they asked Paul if he would dispose of the old one. So he said, oh, of course, because he's always, well, I think we are both a pair of wombles. So he brought the shed home, and I says, you know what, we could fix that onto the front of the summer house. And he's like, wait, how do you do that? I says, well, if we take the front 3 bits off and put the shed onto it, because the shed, I think, was 10 by 8 or 10 by 6. 10 by 6 maybe. And the summer house was 10 foot across, so it would actually fit on. So we took the front 3 panels off the summer house. He'd also been given these 2 huge what are they? Tree trunks, I suppose, is the only way you can describe them. His friend had moved house, and at his old house he had a rowing boat upside down on top of 2 tree trunks with like this to keep the boat up. Anyway, Paul was going and doing some work at the old house, and the new family who lived there didn't want this upside down boat. It was like, it used to keep the barbecue covered. So Paul's like, oh, we'll have it. So we brought it home, sawed it in half, and it's supposed to be going to be 2 sofas for the garden. It's never get done. You never know. So there was also these 2 enormous tree trunks. So there, we put them at the front of the summer house so that it wouldn't collapse. So they're holding up the front of the summer house. Then we attached the shed, put roof and felt over the whole lot, and we started decorating. Got a bit fed up, as you can see. I started filling the old, because the summer house was rotten. I mean, it was ready to fall to pieces, but we've fixed it. We've painted some of it. Wall behind me is painted white. That might get another coat. I think we're going to leave it for this year, because we're both a bit busy. But next year I think it'll be getting tackled. Possibly over the winter we might do it, get cracking, make the electrics better. So anyway, I've got my desk and everything at the back of the shed with all the furniture that my mum had in here. But there isn't much room for me, and also Paul's daughter's got most of her life on the sofa, and Stephanie's chairs from when she did the Spicy Con convention are here, along with all the stands that say toilet this way, rest area this way. They're all here. Some things are in the garage, but other things are in the shed. So I thought, you know what it is? I decided that I would, when I was sorting, like rebranding and everything like this, because like I'd want to try, I do want to have a serious business, but I'm not a polished coach. I'm not a polished dressmaker. I'm not a polished anything. I'm just me. And I thought, you know what? It's quite fun just sitting around the kitchen table chatting. And actually, this is my kitchen table, and it lives in the shed because we don't have room for it in the kitchen. And it only goes in the house at Christmas when people come for Christmas lunch. So I thought, I need to start working at the kitchen table. Stars I mean to go on around the kitchen table. This is where the magic happens. So I had to pull everything out of the front of the shed, get my kitchen table out, put everything back in at the back. So now I can't get to my printer, I can't get anything temporarily. And then I put the table where it's light, because of course there's no windows at the back. All the windows were at the front of the summer house. So now I've got the side windows, which were shed windows, front doors and windows, which were summer house windows. In fact, I think they were summer house windows on the side as well. So anyway, we utilised all the windows and doors and everything that came out of the summer house. So it's really been really, really good. I think it cost us a little bit for the roof and felt. Or did it? Because I'm not sure if you already had it. Like I say, Paul's a wumble. He collects everything. We may already actually have had the roof and felt. So it cost a little bit for OSB for the floor and bits and pieces like that. But hey, I've got this shed. So now I'm working in the front of it where the sunlight is, which is a lot better than working in the back where it's very, very dark. And I do have a ring light, which I suppose I should have had on. But there's usually enough natural light, especially if the sun's shining. And the sun's not shining today. It's absolutely boiling out there. It must be 21, 22 degrees out there. And it's still morning. Yeah. So Paul's a little bit dizzy today. He'd come out to get ready to go to his mates tomorrow to help him do something. And he says, oh, I feel a bit dizzy. I said, well, come in and sit down, because no good if you feel dizzy. That's, you know, I don't know what it is, whether it's his medication. I wish I had a tissue because my nose is running. Wonder where they are. Oh, I've just spotted the tissues. Just a sec. Let's see if I can reach them. Move that table. Step over the wires. Yes, I've reached the tissues. Oh, and I've just spotted the one from yesterday, which has blown onto the floor. So we won't be picking that up because there's spiders on the floor. So, yeah. So, Paul was feeling a bit dizzy. So, do you know what that is? He had a heart attack a couple of years ago. Well, 2022. So, he's on a lot of medication. And it could be that it's one of his heart meds have just made him feel a bit dizzy today or something like that. I don't know. But I told him, just come in and sit down and have a cup of tea, coffee. I drink tea, he drinks coffee. So what did he do? He decided to start cleaning the floors. His daughter's bought him a robot cleaner hoover thing for his birthday, because his job used to be hoovering the floor. So that was doing its stuff, and I don't know whether there must have been a dirty mark or the dog must have come in with wet feet or something like that, so he decided he would wash the floor. So that was what he was doing. And I says, can you not just sit down? You're dizzy. Sit down. He worries me, honestly. He does. He worries me. But what can you do? You know what men are like. They'll do what they want to do until they drop. And then they'll, you know, I should have gone to the doctors. Yes, you should have done. So, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little chicken running across the garden. I don't know if you saw when she ran across. Oh, they're very cute, man. Oh, there's the pigeon away back in with with some more tree to build his nest with. They're so canny, aren't they? Aye. So I've nearly finished my piece of thread. I don't know whether to do some more or whether just to leave that for today. I'm actually got to try and get my head around some editing software. I'm going to have a little whinge, right? My son is a video editor, right? It's not his full-time job, it's his side hustle, apart from he works for my daughter 2 days a week as a video editor. He works for himself 3 days a week as a burglar alarm, fire alarm, camera installation person with his dad. It's the business that he and I started before we got divorced. When we first got married, actually, Tom was just a baby when we started the business, and it's still going strong 26 years later, so it can't be bad. And that's what he does the other 3 days. Now, at the minute, I can't afford to pay to have my videos edited, and he knows that, but he is my son. And I said to him yesterday, so Tom, would you do a little bit of video editing for us, please? Because YouTube is all about longs and shorts and this and that, and I don't know, I don't understand. All I know is you do videos and you put them on. But no, well, I'm already working full-time, Mum. I don't know when you expect us to do it. I'm like, well, you've got weekends. But him and the girlfriend like to preserve their weekends and do fun things. So poor old Mum gets kicked to the back of the queue. So he gave me the name of an editing suite that I think there's a free version of. So thanks, Tom. So it looks like I'm going to have to learn to video edit myself. And you know what it is? When I'm really, really busy and got thousands of followers and I'm doing lots of videos and other things, because obviously I've got me coaching business and my crafting coaching side, and I have to employ a video editor, won't be him, because he says he's too busy. Cheeky little sod. But that's kids' fire, isn't it? My mum had said she wanted me to do something, I would have packed my job in for her. But I suppose it's his own business as well, so he can't really do that. He works for his sister 2 days and she needs him. So, and he pays better than his dad does. She pays better than his dad does, rather. Yeah, so I've just finished my piece of thread again. Timing's really, really good, isn't it? So it's taken me about the same length of time to finish that bit of thread as it took me to finish the piece of thread yesterday, which is really, really good. Now I'm going to just, because I haven't got very much left, I'm just going to thread the needle through a few stitches. Where's my needle threader gone? Again, I can't pick it up. Put the needle threader in if I can get it through the hole, and I can see the hole because I've got my glasses on. So I'll wrap it around there. That's not right, is it? Wrap it around there, pull it through. Ta-da! You know what my daughter did last night, right? She went to see the Enigma. Is that the word? The Enigma that is Danny Wallace. I don't know if you've ever heard of Danny Wallace. She teaches people to speak on stage, and she is a wonderful speaker, and she's funny, and she is lovely, and she is warm, and she is caring. And I didn't realise that my daughter was going down to see her yesterday, so they'd gone down and worked, and I think by the time I saw the video, perhaps a few drinks had been imbibed, let's put it that way. So Stephanie was wearing a blow-up unicorn and Danny was wearing a blow-up dinosaur, and they set the video up and videoed themselves riding around the garden. Yeah, I know. I have to say I was a bit jealous because they looked like they were having the best fun. I think they had the Benny Hill music playing in the background, you know, where it goes da 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 da, that. Yeah. So they were chasing around the garden to that song, wearing blow up animals. So I'll show you what I've done today. Not a great deal, but where are we? There we are. You see the cream bit there? I've continued down there. I think I might actually spend some of today doing some more. Otherwise you're going to be sitting watching me for months and months and months if I just do 2 videos a week. I get bored doing the same colour all the time though. Perhaps I should do the green next. What colour's green? What colour's that? Number 16. Oh, let us see what colour. 16, 819. Let us see what colour 819 is. 819. Right. 819, which sits alongside of the cream, is actually, which you won't be able to see, is actually, is it going to go into focus? Very, very pale pink. Now, yes, Billy does have a pink tummy, but and a tongue, but the rest of him is not pink at all. So I don't know why I've got pink, but I suppose it's going to look like it's meant to look when it's finished. So thanks for watching. I would love it if you subscribe and keep watching, because it's not going to be just cross stitch that you see. I'll be making all sorts of things. I love junk journaling, absolutely love it. So just if you're into that, just keep watching. There's bound to be a thing where you can click for notifications. Do that, and then when I start doing some junk journal videos, you'll see them. Because I think, oh, I love junk journaling. I could sit and do it and spend money on it all day. So yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.